Hello, I'm Galvin, and today we're going to be changing out the flash tube on a Pulso G head. This will be the same process that you'll use to change out the flash tube on a Unilite as well. We are going to make sure that our light is unplugged. There's no power going to the unit. I like to set it up onto a C-stand with a sandbag so that I can use both hands. It's just easier to work with the light mounted on a stand at a nice and even height. For this, we're going to wear gloves. We don't want to transfer grease oil from our hands onto the dome, the flash tube, or the modeling light. That grease and oil can lead to a change in the expansion and contraction of the glass that could lead to damage down the road as it heats up or cools down. So gloves, absolutely a must. So first off, you're going to take off the protective cap, rotate it until it stops, pull the locking mechanism out, and then take the cap off, put it someplace safe. Since we're using a Pulso G head and we've got an adjustable flash tube here, we're gonna send that out as far as it'll go. It'll make it a little bit easier for us. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate the dome until you see the black marker line on the very top of the dome. You're also looking for, there's two carve-outs inside of the dome, and you want to match those up with the retention tabs on the inside of the light. At this point, you should be able to just carefully take that off. I like to set that aside so that it is nice and safe in a safe place. Next up, we're going to take out the modeling light. Modeling light is held on by two pins, so we're going to just gently wiggle and pull in line with those two pins. Don't go side to side, it can crack the modeling light, and we're just gonna pull that out. Now we're gonna set it aside, safe with our dome. Now to get the flash tube out, there is a retention spring, a clip spring. We're gonna use a small flathead screwdriver to go in and push the clip up, and we're gonna go past the ceramic base of the light. And now, holding on to the ceramic base, not the flash tube, we're going to do the same process of just wiggling it and slowly inching it out millimeter by millimeter. And I like to do this until I get past the clip of the spring. Then you can take your tool out of there and then continue wiggling it out. And now you've removed the flash tube on your Pulso G head. When you're replacing the flash tube, it's a good time now to check and make sure that you have the right joule capacity for the head you're using. This is a 1600 joule head, and we want to replace it with a 1600 joule tube. You don't want to use a 3200 joule tube with a 1600 joule head, and vice versa. You don't want to use a 1600 joule tube with a 3200 joule head. So just make sure at this point you can read on here that it says 1600 joules. And now we're going to do basically the same operation in reverse and match up the three prongs into the base, and then just slowly wiggling it in until it clicks in. Check and inspect and make sure that that little spring tab is seated in its place, and then that is good to go. We're going to put the modeling light back in. There are two prongs that match up to the two holes in the modeling light assembly there. And we're just going to gently push that in till it's seated flush against there. And just like we took the dome off in the first place, we're going to identify that marker, and we're going to match it up with the locking mechanism up here, and then make sure that the two carve-outs on the inside of the dome are lined up with the retention tabs. And clip that in. Then we're going to rotate that until those carve-outs are on the bottom side and away from the spring clips that hold the dome in place. And at this point, you've changed out the flash tube, you're ready to go work.